Okay, let's see if I can be heard now. Welcome, beloved ones. This is the 144K. New moon, mass intervention, as we realistically call it. This is your loving servant, the unknown light warrior, welcoming you, welcoming the brave, the truly dedicated and therefore loving to this critical moment. It is June 25th. It is June 25th. 2025, new moon in Cancer, and the nature of Cancer being giving, nurturing, and roots, family roots. And obviously from the Starseed perspective, galactic family roots. So as always, we're going to make things happen far quicker. And realize that for those of you who read the last reminder email of a few hours ago, connected to Cobra's post, a big opportunity is developing. Because judging by the astrology, it appears that the cosmos or source is saying it's time, especially in August, but for our own mini events, potentially the event, but I'll take mini event anytime, as it's the life change and manifestation of real unconditional freedom we've been working so hard for, especially the 144K. As you begin to settle and prepare, for such a critical shift in preparation for what's going to go down in August, but the preparation, the real preparation, starts a long ways before such moments. You start sowing the seeds well before such dramatic and possible breakthroughs. As we begin to harmonize our energies, breathing through your nose, slowly, deeply, holding it on the out breath for a couple of seconds before breathing in. And let's see what opportunities awaits because of our active intervention in the here and now that would otherwise not have been found or seen and seized upon by any surface operative, which is what you are. It's about creating gold from when there seemed to be nothing there. That's the 144K specialty that makes the difference. As you breathe in, slowly, deeply, and effectively, starting this mass meditation. And this time, the congrats goes to all of those in North America, being up at anywhere between 1:30 to 3:30 a.m. A big salute to you. So June 25th, now's the moment, folks, where it's expected, because it's been communicated to all of us, we will reach the compression shock wave front, as Cobra put it, where the density of dark energy and anomaly will fall below the critical threshold. Well, let's see if we can take that far, way further, for an even bigger timeline upgrade. All right, connect with your guides if you have them. Okay, see yourself in the gigantic crystal ball. and see the golden light bodies or astral bodies of all your dearly beloved soul family, which is all the other 144K members participating here live. And so we're all spaced evenly, like a golden ring as always, on the inside of the equator of this beautiful, translucent, dark, toned silver crystal ball. Let's call in Gaia. You can call in Gaia in your own way if you have a special connection or relationship with her. Authentic Gaia, authentic Gaia. We call upon the one true authentic goddess Gaia. Yeah, as always, I can feel her more easily, more better, and viscerally as we keep on clearing the surface energies and therefore ascending. See her in the middle of this dotted golden ring and crystal ball. Adore and admire the beautiful polar ice caps, white clouds over the blue oceans, and continents. Authentic Gaia, can we please have your permission to take you up with us to beyond the multiverses for far greater impact and power for this critical mass intervention? Okay, nice. All right. Glance at your guides if you have them. And we start to move up the layers of this universe. You notice the first few horizontal layers going from top to bottom of the crystal ball before that familiar, comforting, therapeutic, and centering and calming, soft flickering of light through the translucent walls of the crystal ball. Return of every layer of this universe that we zoom up through like a super fast elevator as you use this beautiful experience to center yourself in the now and go deeper in the now even more. And as you know, the now is the portal to extreme, high level, non-local levels of consciousness, information and awareness, and really seeing beneath the surface layers of what we know or normally perceive. As we rapidly approach that last thick outer boundary of this universe, have that relaxed, non-trying, visual focus on Gaia and the flickering light in the background. As we're about to break through, take that last glance over to your left and right at the next few 144K comrades. And Gaia. Take a deep breath through your nose as you hold this relaxed, non-trying visual by engaging the limitless, non-linear nature of the right hemisphere of your brain. And all of a sudden, everything goes bright white. And it feels kind of still all of a sudden. As we reach and move through that outer boundary of this universe, you have to squint your eyes. It's pretty bright. And we are through. You see a big ball of light. That is the universe that we just left. Beneath us, rapidly turning into a small ball of light. As we rise above a whole ocean of small balls of light of this portion of the multiverse. Then that shrinks into its own ball of light, and we rise above a whole ocean of multiverses. And then that all shrinks pretty fast and disappears way beneath us as we continue to rise. Glance or return some consciousness to your guides if you have them, while I quickly run through the protocols as we continue to rise to extreme levels of power and authority. Authentic card. We call upon the one true authentic. Managers of multiverses, the HOD. Please make sure we go to you when no one has true HOD. Glance at Gaia. the beautiful crystal ball in the background. And you look up, and through the roof of the crystal ball, you see that far away point of white light, getting bigger and bigger and brighter, beginning to light up the whole roof of the crystal ball. And we finally reach it. We come to a sudden, yet somehow gentle stop, and we slowly, lovingly push through this thick platform of light. As it slightly envelops the crystal ball. Closes at the bottom, opens up at the top. We nestle on top of this platform of light, and we form a straight line. Behind and above Gaia, in unity and solidarity. The crystal ball peels evenly from the top center, nice and slowly, all the way down, nice and slowly, to allow for more gentle compression breakthrough of sorts, or decompression, I should say. As always, as the crystal ball disappears beneath us, look up and see and feel these managers of multiverses who rarely intervene in any universe. If you're new, you may simply see them as light, very translucent, big light beams, but they're about 2,000 universes away in terms of size and space and dimension. And just establish your own connection with them by allowing yourself to feel their unique energy signature for a minute or two. As always, just being up here with them, getting pumped full of so much extreme high frequency light has a very positive effect on your field. So now use this opportunity to go even deeper. into the now, into your infinite depths by feeling what they feel like and essentially meditating on this amazing vision and energy. Just for a minute or two. Authentic God, can you please send us a massive wave of your energy so we can truly feel you to an undeniable, unmistakable physical level? And just have a little bit of background consciousness on the higher senses in the center of your head as you look at them, establishing your own connection with them. And really use their light to go into a profound, deep meditative state, which of course, like I said, effectively already begins this mass meditation. Feel this seemingly infinite now moment, this blissful forever now moment, uplifting you, strengthening you into real power for change. Authentic God, send us a massive wave of your energy to our hearts so we can feel you in our heart center and help us move into the heart, operating from the heart, engaging the heart and its infinite depth and therefore power. Beautiful. Alrighty. Shift a bit of a glance over to your guides or Gaia, depending on your situation, and I'll quickly finish setting the stage for more power and impact. Again, we specialize in squeezing 100 mass meditations into one. That's the way the 144K rolls. I call upon the infinite army of the authentic amalgam of the direct Oberon lineage. I call upon the elders of the amalgam, Mirren and Rue. I call upon the team of beings that created this universe and physicality as the ultimate solution to corralling the dark back to the light that presents itself as one man, a giant golden being of light, authentic Oberon. Be here now, please. Okay. Repeat after me, everybody. I call upon all of my higher density aspects, higher self. See him or her next to Oberon, perhaps. Represented by whatever image of your true identity. And let's finish up. Repeat after me. I call upon the entirety of my soul. And see your soul as a kind of like a distant star up above the HOD. Connect with it because it will be directing you. You have your unique soul, talent, and task for this now moment. And let's finish up. Repeat after me. I call upon my authentic oversoul. I call upon my authentic I am. And see your soul, your oversoul, as a slightly bigger ball of light behind your soul in another color if you prefer. And then those long, infinite rays of your I am behind your oversoul as a slightly bigger ball of light, back to white perhaps. Really connect with these true aspects of who you really are. Just for a moment. Authentic Legion. There is Gaia. Please take us to the space and place of omnipresence, all of us, 144K. There's a bright flash of light, all very bright. You have to squint your eyes as we are transported to even beyond the multi-density omniversal level of all things, of all that is, to omnipresence. You can barely see Gaia in front of us, slightly beneath. And we're there. As always, everything looks the same, but a very different frequency. Authentic Legion of Light. It is the new moon in Cancer of June 25th, 2025. In terms of time, space, location of this density of Gaia. The compression shockwave front, as it is called, will be reaching us very shortly, perhaps within and well within the next half hour. As the final, the last barriers and greeds, physical and non-physical, continue to be found and dismantled to bring in the authentic source cosmic light to the surface of this physical density. Darkness is trying its hardest to destabilize things at the physical and non-physical level. We ask that you completely strip them bare of any capacity to create any further chaos and suffering. We request to help scan and find and clear from omnipresence any barriers, physical and non-physical, for this compression shockwave front to fully reach the surface, especially as it relates to profound astrological, quadruple conjunction of the moon, sun, Jupiter, and a little-known Kuiper belt object named Chaos, ironically, supposedly the trigger point that will begin to clear the remaining anomaly very fast to start creating real and significant and consistent breakthroughs that can become possible thanks to what we do right now. We request manifestation of real, actual, physical level, energetic, emotional, mental, and physical breakthroughs here on the third density physical plane. Beginning for Starseeds who are ready, especially us, who are actively working for it, dedicating ourselves for it, and then expressed outward to the collective throughout the surface in a controlled, consistent, incremental manner, but still transformative to our hearts, our spirits, our morale, our emotions. And ultimately clear the remaining so-called quantum and subquantum anomaly and dark energy within any dark matter, especially at the atmospheric and surface level of Gaia, here at this density, physical and non-physical. To really start to purify things from now, but in a more gentle and controlled way. Assist in actualizing this. So that any so-called scare events at the physical plane, third density level, that our physical five senses can easily see, is nothing more than an empowering wake up for any unconscious surface collective, and a heart opening experience and expansion of the heart and love to force mass awakening through disclosures that raises the frequency of the planet. Time for real breakthroughs that are more visible and experienced and visceral, not just behind the scenes. Okay, now for about a minute or two, because it's a new moon, let's sow those seeds. Briefly show them, your typical Okay, so in about 15 or 20 minutes, we're going to do that 1 or 2 minute, visualization and showing the teams what we want to see happen. But before then, Authentic Legion, scan all that is, including so-called null zone or null space, the the spaces and currents in between spaces at all levels and frequencies and densities of Gaia, to remove any barriers, seemingly and predominantly exotic, pre-ancient technological barriers, to fully receive and accrete this so-called shockwave front, to fully, but more gently, reach and move through the surface of this planet at all planes and densities. Scan for any barriers to this and clear the lot. Let's put Gaia in the quarantine sphere to really prepare things. As always, pick your preferred background colors. The quarantine sphere usually starts off with white, at least for most of us. That's my preference. Gaia inside it. We surround Gaia and and be safely outside the quarantine sphere, where no dark can notice or see us. The teams surround us. Always make sure you're able to see at least two of them and your I am in the background. This is what taking matters into your own hands and doing something looks like. What are the barriers? Now pick your color of Gaia that to you represents omnipresence. A single, simple, holographic visual of Gaia in that omnipresent or color that represents omnipresence, all densities and planes, including spaces in between. As you've set that algorithm through your heart's intent, request to the teams and your higher aspects, and your right hemisphere will show you. As always, the trick is to be willing to go beyond your level of consciousness, your current level of reference points. So don't analyze whatever you see or think you see. If it's dark or grey, you make sure you seize upon it and transmute it by turning it into white light and then holding it for a few seconds and then watching it disappear. Living a beautiful, divine feminine background color of your choice. This is how you actualize ascension, let alone your freedom, and return to love and truth. As the teams, and if you need to, act as if or imagine this vast summoning of light is continuously scanning and finding, working through your field and consciousness, by the way, to clear find and clear those barriers so much quicker. As you bear witness to this stupendous panoramic view, as you allow yourself to go deeper, non-judgmental, non-analytical. That's what it means to be in a deeper state of meditation and awareness, detachment, non-trying. The nature of the higher mind. All right. Something of a overall Star of David kind of shape. Star of David. I don't think it's an upside down pentagram, but more like a Star of David. In a very dark grey, somewhat smoky kind of texture. Has appeared. But as always, you see what you see. Just make sure we transmute it as we spend another not even 5 minutes transmuting as we approach the new moon maximum. Just keep on transmuting. And for those of you that may not be seeing anything, sometimes it just takes a while to really get into it. Just detach even more, try even less. Kind of step out of the way, so to speak. And look up at your soul, over soul and I am, and say, implement our original directive through me now. All right, got something. And then look down at Gaia and use your quote unquote wildest imagination, which is simply a far higher level of consciousness. And, it'll appear. whatever it is, even if it's something that's the size of a quantum particle, it'll appear throughout Gaia for the sake of your rational mind to be able to see it. This is you using your light and your unique soul talents and purpose. Keep on transmuting for a little bit, a few more minutes. And sometimes you just have to wait for your unique soul's moment to move in per your pre-assigned soul task. And always change the background color of the quarantine sphere as always, as you need to. As I need to focus on something. As always, you don't have to understand or analyze what you see. If it's dark, you transmute it. Ask questions later. Okay, I just need to focus on something. There's been several layers of some sort of grid. That they're really discovering and moving through. again in a non-trying, sort of instantaneous way. Use your right hemisphere of your brain via wildest imagination, whatever even just looks cool and exciting and fascinating to you, which is your soul, oversoul. I am feeding you, leading you in a certain direction. And turn it white. This is really helping the light forces find stuff, namely technologies that look like magic, way quicker, and dismantling them way more safely and gracefully. So keep at it. Don't worry about getting it right. It doesn't work that way. We're clearing the way for a true compression shock wave front to fully reach the surface and expose anything else remaining. So as you go deep into that and transmute, I need to focus on something that seems to be reaching somewhat of a climax, I guess. Okay, I'm starting to feel gaia. Keep at it. This won't take much longer. many layers of very hidden stuff at the atomic and quantum level really sort of being found and cleared all the way from low Earth orbit all the way through to the core of Gaia. Many layers of it. Stay outside the quarantine sphere so you can't be seen or noticed. We're doing well. Stay within the limitless, quote unquote, wildest nature of your right hemisphere of your brain. This is going to let in way more light through to the surface and into the grids for full and proper accretion. Critical for ascension. Once again, we're removing hidden controlling mechanisms and grids and worlds controlling this matrix. Hold a little bit of background consciousness on the teams, at least 2 of them. Your I am at a minimum. Let them work through you, through your connecting consciousness. This is how it works. And do your best to go beyond your current level of consciousness. Forget about 3D world events because that's nothing more than symptoms. We're getting rid of the causes or what allows it or causing it directly. All right, guys seem to appreciate that. We will do the manifestation part pretty soon and sow the seeds of the new moon, but this is just a pretty cool, kind of unexpected breakthrough here of what we're finding. Real deep, dark secrets. And it's okay. It's actually normal if you find what looks like to the rational mind overly simplistic things like you know, grey spheres or cubes or whatever. Just make sure you clear it. All right. Finish up on whatever it is that you're doing. Again, generally remain outside the quarantine sphere. It's okay to get specific micro images. That's sort of easy to get lost in. That's okay, but generally stay outside the quarantine sphere. In about a minute, we're going to just spend 5 minutes showing the teams what we want. And then finishing up with about 10 or 15 minutes of clearing whatever comes up as a result. All right. Look up at the teams, put a bit more focus on the teams in the background. Okay, repeat after me. As you see, Gaia in the foreground, a little below, teams in the background. I am over Soul, right up ahead in the middle. Or simply return back to that original vision after we called everyone in. And just repeat after me. Authentic higher density aspects of I higher self, authentic soul, oversoul, and I am. Authentic Hod, Oberon, and guides. Scan what I'm about to show you. As my new moon request and support in manifesting. Now show them imagine what it would feel like as you're looking at the teams in the background. I want you to imagine what it would feel like to feel all of a sudden this light just come through the surface, through your bodies. And you can feel it. You feel this certain kind of subtle elation and relief at the same time. And happiness. As if all of a sudden you viscerally felt this energetic draining of this density being drained and it's disappeared through into the surface, all the way through. You just feel that, show them that. Imagine you're in a big pool, swimming pool or lake, and you're underwater, and all of a sudden the water just disappears from top to bottom. Dark, murky, grey water just disappearing. As if it's quickly sucked out by a super fast drain hole underneath at the bottom of the pool or lake, pick your analogy. But you're feeling that really through your emotional body in particular. Just imagine that for a moment. And you feel this more happy, joyful, confident, pristine kind of energy all of a sudden. Just imagine that for a moment. Visualize that as you show it to the teams as a request. Take your time. To really sort of manifest the full potential and degree of the so-called shockwave front. We're really laying the foundation here for a stupendous July and August. Because August can easily go in three general directions. One taking years, one taking months, and the other one taking weeks. We're laying the foundations for the latter option, weeks, for true compression breakthrough through to the surface, resulting in personal mini events or the event, let alone galactic family contact, and complete transformation of the energies down to the surface, transforming your everyday life. It starts from here. We lay the foundations, make it happen from here, strategically. So feel it as if dark density matter with its heaviness and background charge of fear just gone from top, as if it's come down through the sky, through you, through the ground. Just imagine that for a moment and say to the teams with a brief visual, feel this, see this, make this happen. Say that, communicate that in your way. Imagine the energies here transforming, literally. That's what I call a new mood manifestation. Okay, now see Gaia. Again, single holographic color. Now see the teams finding everything, things that are way beyond anything you understand or recognize, way beyond what you know. That's the mental container field to use. Way beyond what you know. Again, be outside the quarantine sphere, holding all together now, holding the intent, that algorithm, kind of like a limitless source level algorithm from omnipresence of anything and everything, technological, or even just a dark intent consciousness level. Again, it'll look magic-like, no matter how technological it is. That's in a way of that initial big and still transformative compression breakthrough, essentially, the beginning major stage of compression breakthrough, completely altering anything and everything that's in the way of the light reaching the surface all the way down to the core of Gaia. Because compression breakthrough was always had to come in stages. And now we can finally truly start at the physical 3D surface level. The so-called shock wave front is just the initial stages of that. So anything in the way, it could be any one of so-called infinite universes within and in between time spaces, in between spaces, in between. Currents of time. Time is a thing. Again, go beyond what you know. The only thing you have to implement consciously is whatever's in the way of the initial big wave of compression breakthrough. At the physical 3D level, to feel it at the physical 3D surface level. Keeping in mind very hidden realms, universes, and technologies in between spaces outside of time, within the infinite currents of time, voids between spaces. And now look at the quarantine sphere, Gaia in the middle, with that intent, ultimate algorithm set. What comes up? It'll be instantaneous. Turn it white. We're really altering the fabric, multi-layered fabric of reality that ultimately is kind of digital, really, but in between spaces, in between frequencies and densities, in between quantum particles, currents of time, whatever it is, it's all about whatever's in the way of true compression breakthrough, true cosmic source light reaching the surface and going through it. That's the algorithm. Nice. Now, swiftly, gently, gracefully compress all together now in whatever state you see Gaia in. Compress these different layers and spheres of light from the upper atmosphere, low Earth orbit, inward through Gaia, moving through anything, wherever it exists, within the quantum, subquantum, multi-density, multi-plane way, in between currents of time, in between frequencies, and in between spaces, within those seemingly infinite voids where whole worlds or universes exist, and a lot of them are dark. Watch her disappear. Nice. All right, go ahead and finish up. So much stuff has been removed. Spend the next minute or so finishing up. And the last step is only going to take about 30 seconds. All right, now, all together, on the count of 5, I guess, we're going to feel, actualize through our consciousness and connection with our I am, and and teams in whatever way works for you, where you viscerally, mentally and emotionally, I guess, feel this kind of like again, it's hard to verbalize, so bear with me, kind of crashing of light coming from up to down. You can imagine it coming from the sky, that doesn't matter, but just moving through, the roof of your room and through you, through the room, down, through the floor. In whatever way feels and looks cool, awesome, exciting to you, or fun. Just this downwards movement of this front boundary of light moving through the densities, clearing dark matter, dark energy anomaly as it comes crashing through. And you can start seeing this inward movement of light visually come through low Earth orbit in whatever way works for you. See that? Moving through low Earth orbit, moving through the stratosphere all together. Do that now. Don't try. Allow. Move out of the way. Do. Don't think. You can be done in a very abstract way, totally fine, as it moves through the stratosphere, all together now, with the teams, in the background of your consciousness or vision, move it through the upper atmosphere, clearing dark matter, quantum anomaly, density of the quantum and subquantum anomaly, the denseness, the thickness, clearing it, really lightening it up through the middle of the atmosphere, still upper atmosphere, really moving through. Teams in the background with your I am, which is omnipresent, all working together in symphony, like a symphony. Downwards we go. Through the lower atmosphere, completely transmuting the denseness of the quantum and subquantum anomaly and dark matter and dark energy, the denseness of it at our third density level. Lower atmosphere, racing to the surface, shock wave front, clearing, lightning. And you may see an urban surface profile sort of landscape or not, whatever. Hold the HOD and your guides and your I am in the background of your consciousness as it comes crashing down like a wave, crashing down, but really lightening things up, the density, really lightening it up, clearing it in its wake as it moves through, reaching your house, crushing through the roof of your house, crushing through you, through the floor, down into deep underground. Move that light, that shockwave front, through this crust of Gaia. See it as a cross section, holographically, whatever. racing through inner Earth, into the core of Gaia, and then boom, the explosion of light in the core of Gaia, connecting with the galactic central sun ultimately, and boom, explosion in the most divine sense of the word, emanating outwards, back outwards, this incredible, intense, outwardly expanding, holographic sort of sphere of light with a powerful outer boundary, holographic, and outwards. Reconnecting us all, lighting up the grids, clearing the thick, muddy denseness of the quantum fabric of our so-called reality, the matrix, quantum field. Clearing the thick mud of the density of the quantum and subquantum anomaly and dark energy and dark matter, clearing it. And outwards we go, through the atmosphere, way off into sublunar space. Pardon me. It's a cool release symptom. And hold and anchor the light. Just imagine the whole surface, especially the grids, just getting really bright. Hold and anchor the light. Anchor, anchor, anchor. Through your field, and we all have something called our personal Earth grid, which is within your auric field, in the outer sort of auric membrane kind of area, a few feet away, all around you. Hold, accrete the light, accrete, see, and at the same time, see Gaia's grid. See Gaia's grid really light up. All those crisscrossing lines and vertical lines, vortexes, holding more light. Accrete, accrete, accrete. It's okay to see continents, but really it's all throughout everything, throughout the oceans, clouds, atmosphere, it's everywhere. Accrete, accrete, accrete. Hold for just 2 or 3 minutes. Hold. Light. And if you want, you can at the same time, more or less, you can move light through your Earth grid and outwards into your local area, into those grids, changing the quantum fabric of reality. All those ones and zeros in the matrix, the quantum, subquantum particles, altering them, clearing thickness, denseness, negativity, and moving it outwards like an expanding sphere with maybe a beautiful pristine magenta within the middle and moving it through your part of your state or country and then eventually out. Really lighting up the grids, holding the light. See what you see. And see all the grids really lit up, really bright. All parts of the world, all the oceans. Easily and gracefully as you hold the light, and well done. We are done. Zoom out, see Gaia kind of glistening like a multicolored diamond studded glistening, multicolored, rainbow colored, glistening kind of a shimmering goddessy thing. Sphere, obviously. Planet. And we are done. Now move white light throughout the quarantine sphere to see it all, removing all your energetic traces throughout the quantum, subquantum fabric of reality. Teams in the background. Cannot be seen. I was never here. Whatever command you want to give. Just as a prudent safety precaution. Look over to the teams. Thank the teams. Thank your soul, oversoul. I am your guides over on the far side in the background. And well done, everybody. We've really led the way. What a vanguard to be proud to be a part of. Seriously, big time. And that's not me that's not me talking. It's our upper density off-world and in-earth brethren. That's who's saying that. Rest assured. I felt that very viscerally. That's what I call a new moon. I want to give you all a very big hug for making the most of something that seemed like a tiny little inch of an opportunity. Now, for just a couple of minutes, return your consciousness back into your room. Become aware of your surroundings. And just let's all together do personal manifestations. The classic old metaphysical 101, feeling as if you already have what you want. Feeling and visualizing it. We're just a little over the 2-hour mark from the very beginning. So in other words, we've done almost an hour and a half of actual solid work. That alone is something to be so immensely proud of. So let's just do that now. Whatever it is that you want for you. As we've just set things on a far higher timeline than what it otherwise would have been if we just sat home and did nothing and didn't participate and just kept on sleeping if you're in North America. So I'll be quiet for a couple of minutes while we do that together, which really helps kind of amplify and solidify things, cement things. And just pick that one thing that you would just, or two at the most, that you would just love to see happen over the coming days, even, let alone 2 weeks. Really feeling it, which alters the quantum field around you and sort of pulling it to you, that particular time-space actualization event or situational actualization of that situation, manifestation, whatever you want to call it. You really pull it to you. as you put this forward, request it to your soul and higher self and guides. I hereby request it, you can command it, summoning your higher self and guides. And take a deep breath. Well done, beloved ones. Feel the love from our galactic brethren, inner earth brethren, and gratitude and great respect. Big time. As we have set all of game humanity on a much higher timeline than what it otherwise would have been. Know that. As always, any worthwhile thing mentioning, type it into the Telegram chat group, 144K chat group. I would love to hear it. And we're really marching forward now. So well done. Big time. I would love to hear from you. Even if it was one small thing that you really noticed at that time where you were beyond your normal left hemisphere thoughts and you saw something. You're really building your energetic and psychic muscles here by doing this. You're really growing here. So stay tuned, beloved ones. Yeah, it's going to be cool. Thanks to the shift we just actualized through our love and dedication, walking the talk at a whole new level. With that, lots of love from me, not just all that is. And be proud and grateful. Hear from you soon. And well done for your gallantry and expressing your true love and who you really are through your actions of this new moon. So see you soon. Watch your inbox. And let me hear from you on Telegram.